During periods of high unemployment in this country, obviously millions of people are out of work. But at the same time, paradoxically, there are many jobs that go unfilled because there aren't enough skilled people to take those jobs. One of the organizations in this country, in this county, that do something about that is the Butler County Vocational Technical School. It's served by a group of very dedicated people to make sure that people are trained for the jobs where companies need these people. And Dr. Joseph Cunningham is the director of the Butler County Votech School right here in Butler Township. Doctor, this is a big operation, and I know that it's changed over the years. How is it different today than it was when it started that many years ago?
Oh, it's quite different, Larry. As you can see, well, as you'll see later on through the program, we have integrated technology. This is a state-of-the-art facility. We've grown. We just recently went through an $8.5 million expansion and renovation project. And more importantly, want to dispel the myth that you can go to college even though you came to the Butler County Votech School. In fact, more importantly, you can be awarded college credits through the programs of studies here.
Well, Doctor, you know that the reputation of Votech schools over the years has not been a good one. People think, well, the only people who come here were the ones who can't make it in the regular academic programs in the high school. That's not right, is it?
It's absolutely false. That's completely incorrect. As a matter of fact, the large majority of our students go on to 2- and 4-year colleges and universities directly after graduating from here.
What kind of programs are taught here?
We have 15 programs of study here. We have Culinary Arts, Bakery Pastry, Health Occupations. We have the traditional auto mechanics and cosmetology, auto body collision repair, machine technology and tool and die making, protective services, cabinet making, building construction, heating, air conditioning, welding, commercial arts, graphic arts, computer networking, and heavy equipment.
This is supported by all of the schools, all of the high schools in Butler County. When somebody comes here, they also go to their regular hometown high school. So what courses do they take there, and what choices do they have here?
Well, they have the choices that I just listed as far as here is concerned, but what they do is they study their academics at their home districts. So they're traditional academic classes that would help build their futures and their careers.
Well, Doctor, some people feel this is the place for dropouts. Obviously, they have to pass their academic grades in their home high school. Is that monitored pretty closely?
Absolutely. If you want to be successful and you're thinking about dropping out, this is probably the last place you want to be. However, many kids get energized by coming here and start to see the importance of their academics and find a place here where they can feel value and an opportunity to do something that they truly enjoy.
So if they enjoy the programs here and they're into these programs here, it kind of laps over into the academic programs at their high schools.
Absolutely. In fact, if they run into academic trouble, the likelihood of them being removed here is pretty good. So a lot of the kids see the importance of this program here, and what that does is that it makes them engage in the academic courses at their home district.
When someone's a junior in high school, they don't know for the most part what they want to be for the rest of their lives, what courses of study they want to follow. How do they decide to come here, and then how do they decide what subjects to take here?
Well, what we do is we have some of our staff goes to the home districts and provides a presentation on the course offerings that we have here. And then we invite all the high school students on a tour so they can see firsthand what this is really like and what a great state-of-the-art facility it is.
So they have their choices, and sometimes if they come here for their first year and they decide what they thought they'd like is not for them, can they make a change?
Absolutely, yep.
Now, when they come through this program, it seems with some of the students I talk to, they become very interested here. And of course, then it extends their interest to their regular courses back there. Sometimes, if that happens, do they not want to stay at the Votech school?
No, what we find is they finally understand the merit and the meaning of their courses at their home school. For example, they may have difficulty in math, and then what we give them here is an opportunity how that math is incorporated and how important it is. So if you go through our machine technology program, you'll see the incorporation of math is very critical to their success here. But now they have meaning and understand why they need to learn it.
Doctor, let's visit some of the departments here at the Votech School and meet some of the students. We're in the health occupation section here at the Votech School, and Seneca Valley student Natalie Beers is with us. She's a senior. When did you first find out that this whole operation, the Votech School, was available to you?
I found out through a friend. He was a senior when I started, so it was his first year, and he was going over to the building construction, and I found out through him, and then Votech came to my school, and I came up here to tour it.
Did you know at that point what you wanted to do, what kind of work you wanted to do after high school?
I knew I wanted to go into the health field, but I had no idea what field I wanted to do.
Now, your next step is going to be the military.
Yes, I enlisted in the Air Force in September.
Did some of the programs you took here help you get in?
They helped me realize what job I wanted to do in the Air Force, but the military comes to the schools, and that's how I found out,
Do you think you're learning as much as you wanted to when you first came in here?
and more. I'm learning a whole lot more than I ever thought I would ever learn.
What subjects do you like the most here?
I enjoy dissecting, and we did phlebotomy, so we get to use the fake arm over there and draw blood, and I also enjoy the brain. I like to learn about the thinking.
Now, will this lead directly to something in the medical field in the Air Force?
I will be a home health aide, and I have a chance to be an EMT certified through the Votech, so it'll help me with my training when I'm down there, and I'm getting trained for my jobs. So if I get the job that deals with what have certified in, then yes, it will.
You're doing things here because you like them here at the Votech School. Does that help you with your subjects back at your home school at Seneca Valley?
Yes, I'm taking field bio, and right now we're learning about the skulls, so I know what she's talking about when she says all the medical terms.
It's good to talk to you. Thank you, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Kylie Larkin is from Montauk High School here at the Votech School now. What are you studying here?
Health occupations.
Any particular subject, any specialty?
Sonogram Technician.
What does that do?
You just look at the heart. You can do the heart sonograms, baby sonograms on infants and whatnot. You can tell them what sex the baby is and how healthy it is and whatnot.
When you first heard about the Votech School, it sounded interesting to you. Was it harder or easier for you when you came here?
It's a little bit of a challenge, but a challenge is always a good thing. Really opens you up to what your opportunities are and what you're going to be going into when you hit college.
And you're definitely going to college.
Yes.
What will you study there?
Ultrasound technician.
So this is something where you kind of found yourself. What would have happened if you hadn't come here?
I'm not sure. I wouldn't have as many college credits. We get college credits here. We earn them. And I probably wouldn't be as advanced when I go to college. I wouldn't know as much.
When you get your college credits, can that be transferred to any college?
I believe so, yes.
How many credits do you get?
I think 3. I'm pretty sure.
You're here a couple of hours every day, 5 days a week?
Every day.
So you travel back and forth. How do you get from your school, Montauk, to here?
Our home school actually transports us to and from and then back to our home on buses.
You meet a lot of kids here who are sometimes more interested than others. Is everybody that you talk to happy to be here, do you think?
I believe so, and if they're not, they probably should be. They're getting a really good education here.
Had you thought about changing your mind when you came here, seeing what opportunities there were?
I might go farther in my career. I might go for my LPN, but as I came here to do my ultrasound technician courses, I'm going to follow through with that, but I might step up my game and go for farther education.
You sound like you like being in school.
I do. I like the Votech a lot.
It's nice to talk to you. Good luck to you.
Too. Thank you.
We're in the Culinary Arts section here at Votech, and Courtney Lindsay is a student at Butler Area Senior High School, and she's a senior there. Have you always been interested in cooking and baking and that?
Yes, ever since I was a little girl.
And what are you learning here that you didn't know before?
We really learn to follow recipes, to learn how things look and smell and taste. That way, if anything goes wrong, we can either fix it or we can start over.
Now, you start with a recipe, and it tells you exactly what to do, how many measures to use, and how to mix things and put them together, and when to put them in the oven. But there's an art involved where some of it is based on taste, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You really just have to have a knack for it, I guess. The expression anybody can cook doesn't really apply. You just really have to know what you're doing and really have a passion for it. It just comes from inside.
And you have had this passion ever since when?
Ever since I was little. My parents got me one of those easy bake ovens, and I played with it all the time. And I was always in the kitchen helping my mom peel potatoes or bake cookies. I was more eating the cookie dough, but that passion has always been there.
Have you ever made something recently, or maybe here at school, at the Votech school, that didn't turn out too well?
Yes, actually, my mom's birthday cake. It was a new recipe. I really wanted to surprise her, and I don't know what went wrong with it. It didn't turn out very well. It wasn't very pretty. It didn't taste very good. But I went back and I retraced my steps and I redid the entire thing again more carefully and more closely, and it did turn out very well.
Now, you've been cooking practically all your life, and you've been eating practically all your life. Are there some things you learned here that surprised you, that things that you had to know to be a good chef or a good cook?
I think the main thing is to pay attention, and it really all comes down to passion. You have to want to do this. You can't just come in here and say, oh, I'm going to take this class because I like to eat. You have to want to be here, and you have to want to do this.
Ultimately, where do you think this might lead if you had your way?
I really want it to open up new doors, to cook for 5-star restaurants and resorts, and then maybe open my own business somewhere.
Good to talk to you. Thanks so much, and good luck.
Thank you.
Josh Zimmerman from Mars Area School District is here in the Culinary Arts Department, and you have been busy the last hour or so. What are you making back there?
The pork piccata for a JOC meeting tonight.
So you cater here as well as there's a restaurant here too, isn't there?
Yes, there is. It's open from 8:30 to 9:30 for the breakfast, and then from 11:30 to 1, Tuesday to Friday, it's $8, all you can eat, breakfast, drink included.
Sounds like a commercial. Okay. Yeah. What kind of special training do you have to make breakfasts and dinners and lunches?
You just have to understand the basic principles of cooking, like all your times and temperatures, just how everything's supposed to come out.
Have you always been interested in this?
I have, since I was a kid. My mom ran a restaurant for 25 years, so.
Well, you want to go a little bit farther than just being a short order cook. What are your plans after high school?
I plan on attending IUP and then attending their honors college and furthering my education at the International School in Switzerland.
So you have big plans.
I do.
Now, IUP, I understand, has a wonderful culinary arts department.
It does, one of the best in the country.
After you finish your training some years later in Switzerland, what happens after that?
I just plan on externing and traveling the world, seeing as much as I can and learning as much as I can.
So you have this passion. Is that what it takes to be a good chef, a professional executive chef?
Yes, the passion for food. I mean, that's what you have to have. If you don't love what you do, then there's no point in working.
At this level, what do you like to do most?
I just love being on the line and having the experience of having everyone, and there's the thrill and the excitement, the rush.
Now, you're interested in all of this, cooking, baking. What about your other school subjects back at your home school?
I'm a high honor student. I have a 3.6, an A average.
Some people have a view of a Votech school thinking it's only people who don't do well in their regular academic programs or maybe just coming here because there's nothing else to do. That's not like what it is at all, is it?
Not at all. I mean, it's the hands-on learning experience that you just can't, no academic book could ever teach you. You have to learn it hands-on, and that's what you can't get it from any other school other than a vocational school.
And the teachers have to be pretty good to impart this kind of knowledge.
They do. They have to be hands-on with their students. They have to just, work with them and see what their skill is, and, that's what Mr. B did and Ms. Collins did and Ms. Geibel did past 2 years.
Now, your family was in the business, so you've been doing some of this all your life. Have you learned a great deal here at Votech?
I have. That's where I got basically all my roots and stuff. Learning everything, the basics, getting a job. This is what landed me the job, so.
Sounds like you've got an interesting future. Good luck to you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are featured on Armstrong Local Programming. Meet fascinating people, visit new places, enjoy special events. Armstrong has our community like no one else. Hometown favorites are available on demand with your Television Plus subscription, or find a complete program schedule at ArmstrongOneWire.com. local programming, exclusively from Armstrong. One wire, infinite possibilities.
We're in the building construction area here at Votech, and Emmett Cochran's with us. He's a student at Knock High School, and Scott Kaiser is a student at Karnes City Area High School. Emmett, you're building a house. Behind us, it's a house that you started from scratch. It's a big job. How did you start?
Well, we got the blueprints, laid blocks to lay the floor on, and just went from there. It goes up pretty quick once you get the walls up.
You ever built a house before?
No, last year was my first time. I was in this program last year. It's the first time ever building a house.
Now, this Votech program must have interested you earlier on. How did you decide to come here?
I like to work with my hands, and it's pretty neat to see something come up from scratch that you made, someone's going to live in someday.
Scott, what work have you done here recently?
Right now we're working on the siding. We're getting the siding put up, and before that we did all the framing on the walls and stuff. So it's going up pretty quick. Just got the roof done, all shingled.
Now, you're also taking regular academic courses back at your home high school. What has being in the Votech program done for you?
Well, being at Votech kind of keeps your mind off reading books and stuff like that. It's nice to come out and work with your hands. So it keeps you focused here, and then you go back and it's a fresh start and a shorter day, and you get your work done faster and you don't really worry about it.
Well, obviously you've known some things about construction beforehand. Have you learned a great deal here, some things that you didn't know about before?
Yeah, I learned a lot here about OSHA, codes. Everything has to be done a certain way. It's just not nailing 2x4s together.
What happens after high school?
I'm hoping to get in the Carpenters Union or the Electrical Union. I'm going to go apply for their tests and try and take them, see how I do.
All of you fellas here that I've been talking with, fellas and girls, all have a smile on your faces. You must really enjoy being out in this atmosphere.
Yes, sir.
Have you learned much about dealing with people?
Yeah, when you come here, you have to learn a lot about teamwork. You know, everything has to work smoothly and be done properly, and if you don't communicate with each other, it's just not going to work out right.
Scott, would you recommend this program to others?
Yes, it's a great program, and I enjoyed it, and I think many people will too.
And they're building a house right behind us here at the Votech School. We're in the carpentry area of the Votech School, and Daniel Cox, a senior from Slippery Rock Area High School, is with us. You've been a carpenter long before you came here. Did you learn a great deal at Votech?
Yes, I've learned a great deal here at this Votech about more woodworking material and safety stuff.
What kind of work are you doing now, actually putting together here at the shop?
Right now I'm making a corner cabinet for our house. It's just tongue groove boards and razor panels and with glass shelves and glass doors.
Do you learn something every week that you come here?
Yes and no. Some things about other people do, they mess up and think, oh, I shouldn't do that because they already did it, so you learn about that, and just basic everyday stuff you learn about.
How did you find out about the Votech School over in Slippery Rock?
Because Votech back in Slippery Rock, they've been doing it for half a day there and half a day here. So ever since like middle school, I've always wanted to be in Votech. It's like tech, yeah, I want to go because you just learn about different stuff.
When you graduate from here, what's next?
I want to try to get into the Carpenters Union down in Vicksburg and see about making like cabinetry in the shop. Like they have a great big shop down there. Keep working with wood.
Daniel, good to talk to you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck.
I will do.
Vaughn Allison from Slippery Rock High School. How did you decide on heating and air conditioning?
Well, basically the things that I was taking into consideration whenever I decided to choose this trade is I just wanted to choose a trade that no matter what I chose to do in life, I would definitely have something to fall back on. It's definitely going to be there as far as whatever kind of money that I would need. There are always going to be jobs there. And just kind of like the satisfaction that I feel that you would get from giving people heat when it's cold out, giving people air conditioning when they're hot.
There are so many different kinds of air conditioning units, different manufacturers, different concepts. How do you know which ones that you'll need to know about?
Well, I mean, everything has its place, you know. I mean, you're going to have your gas heat, you're going to have your oil in some houses, and we're actually kind of starting to dabble into geothermal, which is something that's not necessarily super new, but it's coming up, and it's going to become more popular, I think, in the future. And we're going to slowly start to get into that. But as far as knowing what you need to know, if you're going to jump into that work field, I feel that you just have to have kind of a solid knowledge of the basis of everything. Just because you never know what you're going to run into out there.
Now here it's graduation time before very long. What's your immediate plan after graduation?
My immediate plan, I'm thinking that I'm probably going to go straight out into the work field. And I mean, the nice thing about what I'm doing here is if I choose to do some further education, I've actually already earned 3 credits from taking my EPA certification for the BC3 here in Butler. And at the end of the year, I'm going to take my NOCTI exam, so I'll have 9 more credits off of that.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
We're in the computer networking section here. Sarah Fabi is from Butler High School. What have you learned? What does computer networking mean?
We've learned all the skills a computer technician would have, like fixing hard drives and fixing motherboards and also stuff like that.
So if somebody has a computer problem, that means you can fix that problem?
Yeah. We actually have a certification, A+ certification, which is exactly for that.
What will all this lead to later on after you graduate from here?
College and hopefully a job in this field.
And what kind of a job would you qualify for?
Any kind of technician job, any kind of like over the phone service or like internet service.
Did you always know that you wanted to get into computer work, or did something decide you at some later time?
I've always known this. My mother was in the IT field, and I guess I'm just following after her.
You're looking forward to getting out into the workforce or going on to college?
I'm hoping to go to college first.
What's the most difficult part of this program here at Votech?
Memorizing all the terms that we have to know and just the actual application of the knowledge.
How did you hear about Votech when you were over at Butler High?
We get this book full of the courses you can take, and it was in there.
Does that jump out at you then?
Yeah.
This is the kind of work that you really want to do. Are you learning enough here, do you think?
Yeah, I think we're learning more than I expected.
The instructors know a lot. Do you get to know some of the students a little bit? And, of course, they're all interested in some of the same things you are. Are their goals the same as yours?
I think so, yeah. I'm the only girl in this class, so I guess I kind of stand out and make friends easy.
Sarah, good to talk to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Brendon Crum is at Carn City High School and here at the Votech School studying heavy equipment. How did you decide on this subject?
I always liked heavy equipment growing up. My brother worked on helicopters in the military, and we raced sprint cars, and always liked the mechanical side. And worked on my buddy's farm for a few years, and finally could take this class and enjoy heavy equipment.
What kind of equipment are you working on?
We have a case backhoe right behind us, and there's a couple bulldozers in here, and some trucks, and a lot of different diesel equipment.
Does the work that you do here, because obviously you like it quite a bit, has it helped you in your regular work back at the high school?
Oh, yeah, it definitely helps out a lot. I mean, before I came here, I didn't exactly have the best grades, and now I hold a 3.2 or 3.3 GPA.
So being enthusiastic here somehow influences what's going on at high school. How does that happen?
I don't know. I think it just makes you understand how important your future is, because this is, I mean, you're building this for your career, and makes you think, I need to study harder, I need to do this, do that, and help out my grades, and it's a privilege to come here. You don't just get to come here because you want to. It's a privilege to come here. You have to have good grades.
What's your plan after high school?
I'd like to go to the local Operators Engineers Union 66. I put my application in there, and I'd enjoy to be an operator.
Good to talk to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Morgan Minto from Butler High School. Now, you're the only woman in this heavy equipment department. Is that intimidating for you?
Not so much in this school. There's really not a lot of kids that judge me for being a girl. I'm kind of one of the guys now, I guess. But yeah, it could be, but you have to have a strong head on your shoulders, and you kind of have to fit in, I guess.
Have you always been interested in working on cars?
Yes, ever since I was a little kid. My dad's been a grease monkey all his life, and I was always in the garage working with him. But I kind of wanted to be bigger than him, I guess. I wanted to go into diesel mechanics, and I knew that this school had a program of heavy equipment, and I wanted to join. And my dad tried to change my mind and go into auto mechanics, but I wanted to stick with the diesels.
What job are you working on now?
I'm actually working on a 1985 Cat Dozer D4. It's an outside project, and it needed a head gasket on it, and we're just finishing it up now. So,
What do you plan to do after you graduate?
after I graduate, for economic reasons, I'm going to BC3 and getting some business classes there. And then after school, I'm planning to go on somewhere at a technical school for diesel and hopefully get a job in diesel performance and injectors whenever I grow up.
Good luck. Thanks very much.
Thank you, too.
So we've seen a great deal of the Votech School here in Butler County, and we want to learn some more about how, if a student listening or a parent of a student listening wants to know how they can get involved, where they can get some more information, how do they go about doing that?
Many ways, Larry. They can contact their homeschool guidance counselor or our guidance counselor here at the Votech. They can get on our webpage that has all the program information, and they can call and come and take a visit.
A large percentage, relatively large percentage of students in the high schools in Butler County come here, don't they?
Yes, sir. About 20% on average come here.
Well, we appreciate your taking us through here and visiting this interesting facility, meeting some of your students, and we hope to come back here again, and we hope to hear some more successes in the future. Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
I'm Larry Berg. We'll see you next time on Faces and Places.